Well, they like to say they're a long fly ball from Oriole Park at Camden Yards. The Babe Ruth Birthplace Museum houses thousands of Orioles artifacts and memorabilia.
Paul Gessler got an inside look at the archives.
216 Emory Street may just have the best basement in Baltimore.
Come on, we're going to go into the Babe Ruth Museum archives. All right. Welcome aboard.
Michael Gibbons takes us inside the archives.
Here we go. We're on shelf 22B.
The Babe Ruth Birthplace Museum.
And let's see what we have here.
Houses Orioles relics, some game worn.
When they got back from Boston, he walked over to the museum and brought us his cleats.
It has hundreds of jerseys spanning generations.
This is Kevin Gossman, Rafael Palmeiro. This belonged to Cal Ripken Sr. This is Frank Robinson from the 1966 season. Jim Palmer. This is Chris Davis.
Gibbons is the museum's director emeritus.
Cal Ripken Coke bottle, 1995, so this is the year that the streak was broken.
Soft drinks, older than most current players.
Not even always prominent. Eddie Murray and Harold Baines, Kenny Singleton. These are all game-used bats.
And equipment used by the game's greats.
Some really cool Orioles historic memorabilia.
Gibbons shows us some of his favorite from the Orioles collection.
The collection has all kind of things in it, for sure.
They tell us the team's story. They tell us our story.
All these stories, the chronology of their history, knits the community together.
From the original document welcoming the Orioles to the American League in 1953 to an urn with the ashes of Oriole left fielder Kurt Blefary donated by his family.
These are all relatively unique pieces.
Gibbons says they accept anything that helps tell the Orioles story, like the first ever home run ball at Camden Yards hit by Cleveland's Paul Sorrento.
And the reason we have it is because the fan who caught it threw it back on the field. So it's like, all right.
It sits next to a Brooks Robinson signed baseball. He won the most Gold Gloves in team history.
The next guy in line with the most is Mark Belanger, the shortstop, and he won 8. And this is his first Gold Glove award from 1969.
Paper products are handled with great care, like this ticket stub from Cal Ripken Jr.'s first game.
He pinch ran for Ken Singleton.
Then there's this.
These are the handwritten lyrics to Thank God I'm a Country Boy.
The 7th inning stretch tradition, whipped up on a legal pad by John Denver's fiddle player.
This is a profoundly important part of our job is to make sure that we keep track of every artifact.
Until a potential new sports legends museum is built, most of these items stay in the archives unless exhibits pop up for public display.
If it does help to tell the story, it's coming in.
Gibbons says they have about 20,000 items, about half of which are Orioles related. The team's current success will only add to the lore.
Last Orioles team to hit 100 wins was 1980. So this team is going to get into rarefied air with that 100 victory mark.
Upstairs, the Commissioner's Trophy from 1983.
This is the 40th anniversary of our last World's Championship, and you would hope that we can bring home the gold one more time.
Next to the Colts Lombardi Trophy, the 1983 Orioles World Series Trophy. It hasn't changed much, unlike those title rings.
Earl Weaver's teeny little championship ring, not to be confused with or compared with Joe Flacco's.
Another example of sports telling history's stories.
When you have a team headed for the playoffs and then in the playoffs, the whole community it rises together.
History and the Orioles' role in it is still being written. At the Babe Ruth Birthplace Museum, I'm Paul Gessler for WJZ.
Super cool.
Paul Gessler. Hopefully some of that nostalgia and Orioles magic can help them tomorrow. Good stuff, Paul.
Hoping so. All right. Well, coming up.